Hey, this is John, and it's been a while since I've made a video or even a post saying what I've been up to, and we have been up to some really exciting things, not least of which is this, but this is a sneak preview. I might talk about this a little bit later. This is a combination of agentic AI, the ability to create points of information and make semantic connections in information, but we'll talk about more about this later. It's a collaboration between myself, Dr. Johannes Schnitzler from the EIOS team in Berlin, trying to prevent the next pandemic, and one of my favorite developers to work with, Senthil Kumar Bhaskaran, very smart guy, but more about this later, and particularly, how we might use it. But again, this is a little bit of a sneak preview of what's coming towards the middle of the year. A lot of what I've been focusing on, and any of you that know me, is I've been focusing pretty hard on AI transformation, and particularly how we harness AI personalities that can collaborate together. So I'd like to show you a quick example of that as well, what I've been putting together to save myself a little bit of time. So we have a big focus on security. We always have a big focus on security, but particularly we are continuously ramping up our team. So we are putting together more and more internal training. That's quite time consuming. So what I've done is I've actually put 3 people in the meeting room, but these are 3 AI virtual personalities holding the sort of meeting that we would be holding internally. So Eric is a security expert. He's actually a parallel to one of our own security experts, obsessed with security standards, has some very specific ideas about how things ought to be done. Jerome is COO for the purposes of this conversation, and Anna handles all of our in-house training. So what I want to do is, what we would normally do is, we'll kick this off with a meeting where, we will put the 3 of us, maybe 4 of us in here. I can put a human in the loop in this. I have it just to keep things flowing quite quickly without waiting for a human to actually have their input as well. And then I fire them into another platform from here. So this N8N platform is incredibly helpful for being able to configure things, connect them together. But I still need to fire it into another platform to actually run the simulation. So that platform that runs the simulation, you can see that here. What I want to do is, if you can see, I've just moved that workflow around. Let me save that. What I want to do is fire this off. So if I hit test workflow, what you'll see is that workflow is executed successfully, which has kicked off the parameters for the meeting. So that coding security training courses now pops up here. We've got my 3 people that will collaborate together, and I can kick them off and start the meeting. So Anna kicks this off, talking about the 2 training courses that she wants to put together. Eric and Jerome and Anna will now collaborate together. And what I'm really doing here is running a meeting that otherwise, would have been quite time consuming to run. At the end of this, I can actually ask the AI to generate me documentation, and we can start populating those internal training courses. So it's a great example of using AI personas to collaborate together to produce usable output. And again, this is a virtual team. Would cost us quite a lot of money to have that team occupied for 2 hours. So if I can get the results that I need to with AI, that saves us a lot of time. It saves us a lot of expense. Let's have a quick flip back. And the beauty of this as well, before we move on, let's have a quick flip back to how we configure this. I can duplicate this workflow, I can rerun it, I can add files, documents, I can add outputs just by dragging and dropping. So hopefully this gives you a flavor of how you might use AI transformation in an accessible way in an organization, because we can always code this, we didn't really need it, but by putting it into an accessible format where I can double click, on the meeting and actually specify what the scenario is in the meeting. I can set an agenda, I can set up things like the first speaker and the message, so I can really control this. By making this configurable, it makes it a lot more usable and a lot more practical. So let's talk about what's going on here. So what is going on here is we're using AI and agentic AI right now to read through millions of articles. Once we've read through millions of articles, we're starting to build together this incredibly powerful knowledge network where I'm seeing what's connected. So I see chronic pain here connected to all of these different clusters. I see clusters around diabetes, around cancer. One of the things I've been using this for has been to help me. I have personal interest in seeing whether cancer cures are out there, but we don't necessarily know about them. So this week it's been feeding me information where it's been making little pieces of research on metformin and how metformin can help prevent cancer, but also looking around brown fat, how brown fat can starve tumours of their blood supply, and it's quite effective at it because tumours are also very good at asking for new blood and new food supplies. And also some very interesting studies on official studies on herbal remedies and how they are also preventing cancer growths. Now, this is just research on information that's out there. Part of the AI does some fact checking as well. But at the end of the day, this is a research tool. For me right now, it has all sorts of other potential uses. And at the moment, I'm looking to put this into a dashboard that can help people use it, but very, very simply. For example, some of the things I've been spotting that have been coming out of this network this week, looking around avian influenza, that's interesting. Quite a lot coming up on type 2 diabetes always, which again is interesting. And we can kind of go into why these things are coming up, what the platform's been finding. But this is, a bit of a sneak preview for something that's coming later. But nevertheless, being able to look through millions and millions of data points a week and analyze that was something that in theory we could have done with an army of humans, but we've never really been able to do it until we had agentic AI at our fingertips and this ability to make these connections. So this, quite fascinating. I will try and do more of these updates. If you're interested, post a like, let me know what you'd like to see. Thanks a lot.